So let's take trading. How does crypto differ from traditional money or investment?
Yeah.
Well, cryptocurrency to me, it's a form of digital transactions.
What keeps you going, and are there financial gains that you get out of it that pay for your life? Because life's not
Cincinnati bagels.
Phishing scam. So, for example, someone can get a link saying, "I'll connect your wallet to this address, and you'll get a free airdrop." Right? So that connects to your wallet, and then your wallet gets empty.
All right, listen up. We're about to dive into something that could change the game for crypto. Ever heard of DFTZ? It's not your average token. This bad boy is rewriting the rules of wealth creation. Imagine a future where your money doesn't just sit there, but actually grows over time. That's what DFTZ is bringing to the table. Now, I'm not saying it's risk-free. Nothing in crypto is. But here's the kicker. If you get how DFTZ works, you're not just buying a token, you're buying into a whole new system. A system where you're not just an investor, but part of a bigger movement. So, are you ready to level up your crypto game? Because with DFTZ, the reward might just outweigh the risk. Time to think bigger, people.
Episode 3.
Don't know. In fact, this season, we don't know.
We're just going to go with season 2. Welcome back. How about that? That work?
Season 2. Welcome back.
Exactly. Now,
welcome back.
Just before we introduce our esteemed guest for this evening, we're going to talk about something controversial. Now, it took us a while to get here because the pre-brief that we normally have in our local
turned
cafe
into
here turned into a bit of a mosh pit.
So the questions that we normally come up with, question 1, script.
Yeah, if we'd had the crew in the cafe, that would have been episode 1. This episode would have been done.
Yeah, we need our own crew following us around.
We do. Kyle, can you just get this mobile?
More money, please, sir.
The mobile bunker, secret bunker is going mobile. Danny, the business of the podcast. Yes,
so as always, thank you. Like and subscribe to all of you out there. Welcome back, and to any new viewers, welcome on board. I am sporting a new hat, and so is one of our guests today. Thank you to Xtelligence.com, who, as you know, powers Infomatterspodcast.com. And I didn't say cat. So for
we fucks up
if
the
you
URL.
want to get into IT, you're into IT. Info. We're moving away from all of the crypto.
You give it away.
We're moving away from cybersecurity being the focus to info. So anything that you see on the show, you've got questions, please put it in the box below. If you're looking to get into IT, you fancy yourself within the world that we're punished by. Intelligence is looking at the moment for Sentinel architects. If you know what Sentinel architects are, ping in the box below and get in touch. Now on to the game. Now on to the show, Kenny. So what have we got today?
Well, we've got a couple of... actually, we've imported one, I think, for the week. And one of our...
Well, actually, we know one really well. And
we
the
do,
other one,
I was going to say, do we know? Of course we do.
The other one we just picked up from the airport went, you in!
Get in here! So without further ado, introducing Kyle. And by the way, we have gifts. So for you, you get a goodie bag.
Official merch.
Exactly. And Danny, of course, welcome.
And Rad.
Yes, of course.
A friend, a brother, welcome on board.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, the quality of the hats are nothing like ones, but there's a lot of goodies in there. There's a bra, there's some underwear.
Instantly gets it. I love it.
God, man, there's a depilation kit. There's a small plastic mouse.
Exactly.
Mouse mat.
Mouse
mat.
Thank you.
Mouse mat. Exactly. And the theme of the today,
easy for you to say,
is crypto.
And how do we kick this off?
So there's a good story behind it.
Yes.
Rad's a brother, a friend for many years. And people always say, what is crypto? How did you get into it? Rad, how did you get into crypto?
Funny you should say that, Danny.
Yeah,
because about 5 years ago, you was in my house.
It wasn't me.
5 years ago, you was in my house, and you heard me talk about crypto, and you was like, "Oh, I have some crypto. Would you like it?" And I said, "Sure, Danny." So Danny sent me $30 worth of Litecoin.
Yeah.
And
it's now worth 6 million, you bastard.
And that just took me down the whole rabbit hole of cryptocurrency. Logged on to Binance, started buying other cryptocurrencies.
And we're going to get onto.
And that was what? How long ago?
5 years.
And
5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer.
My first question is, when do I get my profit? Kyle, how did you get into it? Just briefly before we launch.
Yeah, I got into crypto in 2021 with an old friend of mine, same sort of situation.
Yeah.
And we should take a look at this. And I think it was Shiba Inu was my first.
Was that not the controversial one that went
yeah.
slightly post and then fell down the shitter? And
I think it would have been that one or Saitama was.
It came out at
Shiba,
8.6
Jasmine, two
bazillion
favourites.
things and then fell down the shitter. Loads of people invested in it and then got liquidated. Like you see, even
You're talking about
Shiba Inu,
No,
the dog one.
Shiba.
No, I think you're talking about
Shiba Inu.
Connect. That was the one that
No,
really
no,
went
Sheba
bad.
was the one that did the rounds, and like kids were getting laughed at because they're spending daddy, mummy, and
Sheba's
daddy's
good.
Sheba's
Sheba's
decent.
Still good.
Sheba's
Okay,
good.
clearly
good
talking
meme
shit.
point.
Well, anyway.
If you are part of Shibu, sponsor my hat because these cost a mint, and you're not going up as fast as. Actually, you're going up faster than Ada. And,
Exactly.
so,
Golden definition, Danny. Right,
So-
we need to get this clear. Go on. Which
go on,
one?
who
what-
wants to answer the question?
question?
What is cryptocurrency, Rad? Kyle, who wants to go first? Ring that buzzer.
You can,
touch
or you
my
can, or
balls.
you can
Go for
tag
it.
team.
Go ahead. Well, cryptocurrency to me, it's a form of digital transactions on the blockchain. It's used. Cryptography is what they would call it, the original blockchains, I guess. So it's
in
a way
way-
of doing transactions.
More online, more digitally. So in
Online,
words that my
online.
mother, evening mum, would understand, this is akin to a form of digital currency that has no physical form, that trades.
Well, the form is digital.
The form is a physical form.
Yeah.
A digital form. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you for the definition there.
Yeah.
I can know what digital.
And we're off.
Oh, this is going to get ugly.
Kenny, this is not for you to answer.
No, I know.
Or your mum.
Yeah. So we've defined.
Beryl, your internet goes at 500 fishes a minute.
Oh yeah, there's a story there. 150 miles an hour. She called it when she got upgraded. Anyway, long story. So a form of digital currency that is by far taking the world by storm. People are, and if we just wake up the producer, if the cricket stopped, he has I think he has a definition of this that he's struggling with. But a form of digital currency that is now taking the world by storm. You can now trade in a multitude of ways with a multitude of coins against regular currencies.
Correct.
In the way that you would normally trade oil, stocks, metals, precious
Yes.
metals, that sort of stuff.
I mean, you were saying
Got it.
like Jasmine, for instance, they're in like cybersecurity tooling, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they're
So
definitely.
people are not just associating it with a currency, meaning I've got 100 of this, you've got 100 of that, the markets move.
Yeah.
It's actually a commodity or
Well,
it's a
different-
service or a software.
Different cryptocurrencies have different utilities, and the bigger the utility, the more important the utility, the more
Right.
value the currency has. The reason why Bitcoin has a value is scarcity. There's
Right.
only going to be 21 billion Bitcoin ever mined.
Did you see million or billion?
Million.
Okay,
Million.
Just for,
Yeah,
Million.
21 million.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and there's about 19.4 million Bitcoin out there at the moment. But
and the more that they're traded, the more that count reduces, therefore driving.
the more that's mined.
Okay, mining needs defined. Gentlemen, who would like to define mining? And just to frame this, this is the way in which Bitcoin and other coins are traded. Is that the right way to? Is that a fair way to put this?
How are they
Or
traded?
invested in, or how are they traded, and how does it relate to this mining concept?
Well, mining and trading, I guess, would be two different things.
Okay.
So let's take traded. How,
Yeah.
how does crypto differ from traditional money or investments?
Yeah.
Well, it all occurs on the blockchain. There's always a history of it. You can always go back on it. It's always
Fully
there.
traceable.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's always there. That's
And
a
it's
good thing.
transparent.
Yeah, it's fully transparent.
Like the UK
you can
government.
follow the routes. Yeah, you can follow the routes of where the transactions go.
But you can identify the endpoint. You can't see who it went to. You can follow. You know what it went to.
No,
but
you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
By
you
name?
go from a wallet, or not by name,
Right,
but
by
there is
wallet.
software, and it depends because as crypto evolves, it gets better and better to find out where the end goal is or when that
End
final transaction
recipient.
goes.
Yes,
but
yes.
you can't send crypto to a random wallet. You need a wallet address to send it from yours to someone else's.
Okay, and these addresses take the form of a series of characters that
Correct.
are uniquely identifiable. When we talk
To an
for the
individual.
purposes, I think for this, is it fair to say
Yeah.
the blockchain is a form of, and we know it runs with the internet or parallel to the internet or
Yeah.
on the internet, but it's a form of network that
Yeah.
is used to trade and transact, and it's done in this distributed manner. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no single one route that a transaction will take.
No.
It takes multiple. Am I getting this right?
Yep.
It takes multiple routes over the internet.
On the blockchain.
I'm testing my knowledge.
I reckon
Remember-
that chocolate cake did in the world ago.
yeah, I'm off my face and cake. It was like pistachio. Multiple routes over the internet, independently verified by his sellotaped shoebox
Multiple.
mining kit. We'll work out
Yeah,
what that format is.
multiple.
He's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
And therefore, by the time it arrives at the endpoint or the recipient, it's fully verified. It's zero likelihood of fraud and all this sort of good
Secure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's secure, but the fraud can occur in many different ways, just like banking transactions can occur.
It's a good example.
Of what? Crypto?
Fraud,
Or
yeah.
what fraud in
Yeah.
crypto? Well, phishing. Like clicking a link, somebody sends you a link and says,
right.
"I'll connect your wallet."
Oh, I
to
thought you
this.
meant going into a shop buying a rod and some bait.
Well, so, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can I pay for that with crypto?
Yeah,
Fishing.
Yeah.
No, so someone getting a phishing scam. So, for example, someone can get a link saying, "I'll connect your wallet to this address, and you'll get a free
Thing.
a free airdrop." Right.
And
so that connects to your wallet. and then your wallet gets emptied. Right?
Okay,
But that's
and the wallet's kind of it's a digital thing, so it's kind of Revolut or a bank thing. You know, we don't have
well, Revolut and a bank is a
physical wallets anymore, but we have.
Yeah, that's a hot wallet. That's what's classed as a hot wallet. So that's online, connected.
Right.
When you lose it, it's a cold wallet.
So a cold wallet, yeah.
It's disconnected.
No, it's disconnected.
Yeah, when
so
you've been fished,
yeah.
it's cold.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's nothing in it.
There's nothing in
No, so a cold wallet is like, for example, a Trezor, which is it's disconnected from the internet, so it's not always online. So Revolut, Binance, which is an exchange, all connected to the internet.
Called hot.
Which is hot.
Yeah, which would make them arguably exposable. So if
to
you
the internet, yeah,
were
correct.
to fall foul of a phishing campaign,
Correct.
you could move money
Login.
around.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Okay,
the other question was going to be how does a beginner get into it? And for me, for example, I know you got into it. You live and breathe it, and I love talking to you about it.
Yeah.
But I don't use the Binance, what have you, which you can explain. I use
Yeah.
Revolut. Now,
Yeah,
Revolut
correct.
I use for my salary, my currency, whatever I'm buying.
Yep.
But they offer to buy into currencies using
And they kind of made it
on a
simple.
cash on a
Easier,
simple
yeah,
cash
yeah.
level.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I invest X.
Yep.
It goes up Y. I can cash out. If it goes, it's the same as any FX market. Whatever you're doing with
Yep.
money, but you get it the value in those currencies that
yes.
you're trading. Hence, Shibu and Jasmine.
Exactly. You know, we're not ignoring our
Revolut hat, by the way, out there. Ring the bell, like and subscribe if you know Revolut.
Didn't really do well last night on the BBC's Panorama show, but we're dealing with that. Read my LinkedIn profile. You'll
I don't
see
want
what
to
I'm
read
about
that. I'm buggered if
No,
I'm cold.
No, that
if they go, I'm
Of
freeze
course,
walling.
the BBC,
I'm dead
BBC
walling.
Panorama made them out to be absolutely shit. They're not. They got improvements to make on par. However, back to this.
Yep.
Hot wallets, as we have Revolut and any traditional bank that's now got an app is a hot wallet. We've talked about the cybersecurity or the security elements of this, having things offline.
Yes.
And particularly that's relevant to crypto because of something called keys. Now keys are is that the
12, 14, 24 passphrase or seed phrase as they call it that enable you.
So is this like the notes of the crypto world? Because you've physically got these.
Well, it's the secure
key,
method.
yeah.
It's your secure key to your hardware wallet. So it's basically like a USB stick.
Right.
So and for you to crack the password on that USB stick, you need to
these
insert
phrases.
the 12,
In the
12
order that you
24.
put it in,
You'd be
you
borrowing Khaled's spade and burying the snow hole on Mars.
Well, the probability of you finding 24 random words
in
the order is very, very slim. As opposed to
I get that.
finding someone's credit card and trying to figure out a 4-digit PIN code is more likely.
So when I was doing mine with Rad, I didn't have pen and paper, so I cut my arm and getting blood on the back of my safe. Not far off.
Okay, so this makes it kind of way more secure.
Yeah.
And Kyle, a question, maybe just drawing on Rad's point, we're particularly interested in the use cases for this. I think you called them contracts or
Smart contracts.
or smart. No, but there was a phrase you used before. Utilities, right? So the applications for each of these, and testing my knowledge again, projects, and by that we mean coins,
Cryptocurrencies.
right? They're all different, so they all lend themselves to different scenarios. What are a good couple of examples of projects that have got good applications, maybe for cybersecurity or might be?
Well, Jasmine's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, but and I have Jasmine, but what does Jasmine
I think.
do? Is that a bad example?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So, Jasmine, it's a project that obviously
Why are you
I'm
smiling?
invested in. It just makes me laugh
fucking
because
his, isn't
people...
it?
Well, of course I have Jasmine, but I've got Danny to get some. So Jasmine, for me, is a project that was created by a couple of people that actually left Sony. And the project behind Jasmine is the cybersecurity factor of your details. So your data, where we talk about the most expensive asset on this planet in this day and age, it's
not oil, it's data. Yeah,
it's data.
We talked on that a few times.
And Jasmine have been talking about creating a blockchain that enables your data to be secure. So having a blockchain that enables you to log on where your data is secure, which means that Facebook and everyone else, just by logging on or putting in a word coming up with your data, it's not been sold. So your data is then secure. So nobody sees what you're searching or anything like that.
And by the way, Jasmine spelled Gizpa. Yes, good. Yeah, for those out there.
I've got different Jasmine. On
No good.
Yeah, you got the Orangina version.
You've got to shake it to wake it.
So yeah, having different.
Sorry, I just got that.
See, now that's
slow.
Now that's crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
So having a decent utility for projects is very, very key because that's what makes a digital cryptocurrency give it value.
Right.
So finding projects that actually have decent utility, not just like, so people are buying meme coins. Do they know why they're buying them? No, not really. A meme coin can be anything, which is just a cartoon. But it's the community that buy into it, giving it value.
And,
what
and,
were those? What
yeah.
are those digital pictures? That
NFTs.
NFT. Now, for those out there, I did actually create an NFT, and I gifted it to Mike Tyson, the
did.
legend,
He sent it to his wallet.
to his wallet
of boxing fame.
of boxing
yeah.
fame.
Does he know?
Yeah. Well, he has it in his wallet.
He's got it as well. So
Does he know?
Mike,
Yeah.
the
Well, he
Mike
tweeted
Tyson
him.
of boxing
He did
fame
tweet him.
has got an NFT gifted from myself
In his wallet.
Now, who gives a about crypto when you got Mike Tyson on your
No,
side?
that's right. And I mean,
True story.
These
Yeah.
other, I mean, the cybersecurity is particularly relevant, and it's, so you, and just so I'm clear on this, so if you've got a particular project or coin that people invest in, those funds are used to develop smart app or applications for making the world more secure, making like.
Well, it depends on the utility. But it could be
Yeah, no,
absolutely
not so much the
anything.
world then, but they have a use case that they use these funds to develop, and that
Correct.
increases the value.
Correct.
Got it. And I imagine, and I'm going to throw I'm just referring to my notes, a bit of a, and it wasn't that chat, Kenny, it was the other one.
Might have to bleep some of this out.
Yeah, like,
Was it
so
one
it's
to
not
one-
the first
is
time
it
we've
one-
gone stop and start
Yeah,
again.
1 to 12, Kenny.
Yeah, well, exactly. This is all dependent on connectivity, and
Correct.
as is any form of the digital world, and Denny and I have led digital lives for a long time. I was a big advocate of Revolut. Advice there is you don't put all your money in the one, or all your things in the one pot, whatever the pot is.
Yep.
Go on, Kenny. Let's have one for Kyle.
Yeah, so Carl, well, one of you, you're
Told
aware.
you we don't give you much chance to talk.
the
Brad sat here going.
there was a Netflix
Fuck off.
a Netflix show that was called "Leave the World Behind." It featured Julia Roberts, whereupon the world was being unplugged, like some.
It was all going back to analog and printed
Yeah,
pieces of paper.
it wasn't quite the apocalyptic shit that we see. It was a very gone away for the weekend. Everything's unplugged. The Wi-Fi's screwed. How do you use crypto as a digital currency, or you can?
Well, I would say you couldn't.
Right.
Right. You do need the network.
You would need a network.
So do you do for normal currency?
Well, I was gonna say
exactly. So,
Connectivity.
You mean you can't trade online? You can't go to a bankomat to take out physical currency, so you
Right.
trade your mum then, don't you?
No, yeah,
Hey, here's Terry. I want your cow.
yeah, and one of the other points I'm coming to that we debated in our session before was, it's not is that we have the same dependencies on crypto as we do on the traditional currency.
Yep.
That we do. So life's not that different. Therefore, where are the gains? And as professional crypto investors, you'd said it's the investment.
Absolutely.
And so, golden question again for you both is, what's driving you to? Because Rad, you've spent quite a bit of time committing your time, well, actually your life,
Yep.
to this. What keeps you going, and are there financial gains that you get out of it that pay for your life? Because life's not free.
Cincinnati bagels.
Head to toe.
Yeah.
Except that
So the financial gains for me is learning.
Right.
Learning, believing in something that you know is going to change the world, and it is changing the world. So you look at just market caps of the cryptocurrency world. 4 or 5 years ago, total market cap was like 400 million,
Right.
right? All-time high previous. after
$300
the
$400
last-
million US dollar equivalent.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
total,
Yep,
right? Well,
yep.
5-6 years ago. The last bull run, total market cap, $3 trillion.
Jeez.
3 trillion, right? Market cap expectation at the end
That's the
of
size of Apple.
yeah, but market cap expectation at the end of the next bull run, which is within the next 12 to 18 months.
You may have to explain bull run.
Yeah. Is expected to be anything between 10 to 15 trillion dollars as total market cap for all cryptocurrencies.
Bull run, bear run. Standard stock exchange terminology. It goes up, goes down.
down.
Bear, push up. Bull, or the
Wow.
other way around. Yeah. Bear,
Well done,
down.
Danny. Sorry, Sleepyheads woke up.
No. Edit here, but I'm just saying we haven't really answered the question. If everything gets turned off, how do you actually use?
Good point. Yeah, does crypto?
But you can't use anything if it's all
No, no,
turned
no,
off.
so-
There's
so,
no
yeah.
money in the
That's
world.
not true, because you can use currency.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you can go.
Cash.
Everything's going to be digital.
If you've
Everything's
got, if you-
digital.
if
So how are
you-
you going to
if
pay
you-
for
if
anything?
you've got it, if you haven't, and you use just cards and all the internet and your banks go down.
How are you going to get a receipt? They're going to go
No,
back
no,
to
No,
writing on paper.
well, I know what you're saying. In the
So you
event of a
still
world
have
that's
money, you've
fucked of
got
any
yourself
form of
to buy a
digital
loaf of
transaction,
bread.
the
Okay,
only currency
I'm
will
not-
be physical.
Don't have
If you've got
the-
some.
Valid.
Yes,
Otherwise
my
it's in a
point.
bank.
Exactly.
But the question is, though, if you're going to do that, don't you have to go to the bank, take out money in the first place
Yes,
to do that?
yeah, but the point
Bank
is,
exchange
what Khaled's
don't work.
making is, in the world that you should be prepared for that.
Okay.
I mean,
but if I did, I'd take money out of my crypto account and have cash. It's the same thing. It's no different.
That's what Khaled's point is.
Yeah.
In the
There is
event
no
the world
difference.
ends up down the
because
shitter.
You're not looking at. Sorry, I hope
No, we're not.
you're
We're not going to edit
understand
this
what
out
you're
okay.
saying.
because now you can hear him. This is what he sounds like. He sounds like he's having a
See,
stroke.
my crypto's in Revolut, so
Yeah.
it's the same as my salary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I want to take money out in Czech crowns for my salary,
You still
need
I
Revolut to work.
I need Revolut, and Revolut is my crypto.
Yeah.
So if the currencies went down and and the exchanges went down, and I didn't
different.
take money out
Or
of
there
the
was
machine,
no connectivity or
No,
world
it's the same.
domination.
There's no connectivity. You still have access to cash.
Nope.
How?
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 The
How?
bank
Because the
machines-
system,
The banking system's
the
gone
banking
down.
system's gone down.
If the same backbone internet connectivity
It's the same for
that
banks.
runs on the
You go to
blockchain
the bank.
drives
And how?
bank amounts.
How are you going to
If
get
there's no
transactions if
internet,
there's no
you
internet?
can't use your
Excuse
bank
us while we talk amongst ourselves. We'll be right back with you.
All we're going to do is just everyone just look this way.
Just grab the carrot.
Okay, edit out.
No,
that's
leave
good.
that shit
That's
in. It's
valid.
healthy debate.
So to answer the question,
Yes.
if networks went down,
Yep.
your bank, you cannot get money out of the machine, same as you can't cash in your
Transact-
crypto or use it for
exactly.
anything else. It's simple.
Correct.
So, it's,
So it doesn't help you in the evolution towards a cashless society, which is kind of stupid.
Well, it's not cashless because moving forward, the cashless society is moving to digital. It's
Yeah,
not.
but-
you're not moving to cash in
No, I know,
in
I know,
terms of
I know.
paper cash. They're moving to
it's
physical cash as we know
$100
it.
instead of 100 coin.
Yeah, but
it's digital.
And Grandpa producer, who's worried about world domination when he
Yeah.
thinks the digital currency will be fucked.
yeah, but he's underneath his mattress. He's got 100
I know
grand.
what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
We'll put that under the video.
What was that? What was that?
Ding dong!
We were talking before, and unfortunately, there are wars going on in the world. So like and subscribe because we're hungry.
Yeah.
Is that most people when there's a war, your crypto value, your currency value goes down, and people buy gold.
Gold.
Yeah.
Guess where 90% of the world's
Yeah.
gold bullion is? Khaled's bed.
Yeah.
90%, and that's not including German Jewish gold.
Yeah.
Khaled's bed, yeah.
Edit that part. Well, no,
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but to be honest, that does answer a really good question because the scariest thing about cryptocurrency right now is seems to be a horrible lack of education. Horrible lack of
Okay,
education.
yeah, so go on. Yeah, so.
Well, I think that question was one of them. The
Absolutely.
misconception is if you've got crypto, you can't
see if
use
it's
it to
money.
take money out of the machine.
Yeah, but you can go to Barclays Bank and take your money out. How?
Yeah, but you can go to Barclays Bank and cash, or I can go to my Revolut
Yeah, so-
and take out my Revolut.
Yeah, but you can't.
From crypto. No,
Oh,
but
yeah,
now.
but now, yes.
If it all went Pete Tong,
None of us can.
that's when you start bartering your grandma's shoe
Yeah.
for a portion of bread.
Yeah, exactly. Start living off the soup you've had for 24 years in your cupboard.
Yeah, Campbell's.
And so, as we trend towards digitization, and even Dubai mentioned, or the UAE mentioned,
Yep.
they've got a plan by 2050
What's that?
to be digital, no cash.
By
Right?
when? 2050?
Yeah, I know,
It's going
it's
to
actually
be
before that.
sooner than that.
Yeah, it probably will be because they build shit in minutes. They'll do shit in minutes.
What is that? I mean, they're
Burj Khalifa.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
some of the biggest projects in crypto are all moving to digital. Dubai, for that very reason, that they're adopting cryptocurrency.
They're
at
very
such a
welcoming,
quick
phenomenal
pace.
rate, and they're very
well,
forward
stops
thinking.
though, that word. Well, I'd have said it.
They're very forward
pace.
thinking.
Yeah.
So we've established that cryptocurrency kind of definition of what it is and how to profit from it, which is like traditional trading, and there are apps to do it. And for the more professionals, there are exchanges that you guys can trade the keys and all the
Correct.
rest of it for.
No,
Right?
no, you
Oh, no.
exchange currency,
Change
not
the
your
currency,
keys.
but the keys are from your wallet, where the currency ends up.
No, you trade your cryptocurrency on an exchange.
Yeah.
But you don't have keys on an exchange. You have just your username and password, like a login, like your bank account.
Your
details.
wallet's got the key.
The wallet's
your
got
wallet
the
that
keys,
has your keys.
but it's the wallet that receives the crypto at the end of the transaction. I guess.
Not on an exchange. Only if you're moving it from an exchange to your
I see,
personal wallet.
which is good practice because that makes
Everything should
that
be
makes
offline.
Right, which is back to the point.
There you go.
Yeah. We have got
Yes.
use cases for gold lot. Wait, once a when we have a video, we'll put a link to that in the back.
Yep.
in
So
the-
let's go to again to the simple. Why crypto? You've explained it.
Yeah.
How for the audience out there? What are the easiest ways to get into it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've mentioned one.
Well,
from a Revolut, for example, but there are
for
many.
me, I'm based out of North America, so for us it would be
Ooh.
Crypto.com, Binance, Coinbase. Those would be, I guess, the top three that
Where you would
use.
start.
So those would be the beginning and endpoints for entering fiat, real world money
Yep.
into the digital world, and then you would send it around from there.
And
Now
so
what-
you could move it in off a card into the exchange system
From
and trade it as you
yeah,
see.
Yeah,
And you can start
trade.
with small amounts, see how it
Yeah.
read.
There's
I mean,
no
also, and Rad, you can give a drop. It will appear in the box down here. You've got a digital magazine.
Oh yes.
If you'd like to, the
Introduce,
name of
yeah.
it, and it will appear in a box down below.
Lovely. I help a project called DeFi Times. It is a digital crypto magazine.
Yeah.
It is available in English and Spanish currently. The plan is to have it eventually in up to 12 different languages. We're actually about to release issue 20, which comes out weekly.
Oh wow.
In English, and issue 14, I believe, in Spanish.
Yep.
Comes out every Friday. It's available for free to download in the
Only
Apple.
if you like and subscribe.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
if you like and subscribe, you can get it for free in the
Yeah,
Apple and Android
that's
stores.
rad.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We'll allow you to wear the hat.
Well, thank you. Yes, exactly.
The key rings come later.
Yes.
And this project's interestingly, Carl, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you did this on kind of beat the bullshit grounds because there was a lot of education.
Yeah, give us all, what's the purpose of the
Education.
magazine for the
Yeah,
the audience? It's
education.
interesting
I
to
think,
me.
for me, I always am learning with all cryptos, and you just keep learning, and you grow a network of, friends,
Trusted sources.
I mean, we've met you like 10 minutes. You're already wearing our hat.
Yeah.
That's the brotherhood we create here on the show.
Definition of trust.
Yeah, so there are lots of ways to protect yourself, and I think education was probably foremost the best thing to do is really.
And you think this magazine? I personally know because I went through it. I think you gave it to me about a couple of months back.
Yep.
And I've always been keen on it. I speak to Rad a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Impart information. I read it, and it's great.
Yeah.
Because it is the future. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks, whether you're a crypto hater or a lover.
Mm-hmm.
Digital marketplace. I mean, if you bear in mind that your money in a bank is a digital marketplace, it's just you can go to a machine, take out a physical piece of paper. The paper's really worthless.
Yeah.
It's what you're handing it over that's in the bank
Yeah.
that's for. It's ones and zeros.
Yeah.
And it is the future.
Yeah.
100%. And I think the audience out there, a lot of people, even my partner, Helena, hi, love. She's like, oh, you're talking about crypto? I've got no fucking idea what it is. He said, all you said to me is when we were in Manchester last week that you cashed some in, you buy me some jackets. So I went, I didn't cash any in. I can't pay for the gym, but you still got your jacket, didn't you? That's because the markets were connected, Callie.
Yeah, the lights were on.
Yeah, the lights were on, and exactly. And I thank God for the crypto.
So what factors, for not necessarily a newcomer, for someone out there I've known about, what factors should you consider when you're looking at a crypto strategy, whether you want to buy through a Revolut or a Binance, or should do a lot of reading up first?
If you've got money to invest, is crypto a viable source? Now, interestingly, and Brad, I'm going to invite you to say it again, is what you said in our briefing was there's no better way to make money.
No, I said that the safest investment. Investment right now, long term, would be into Bitcoin. For the simple reason is there isn't a more scarce asset on this planet than Bitcoin.
It's got a definite end date of when it's going to finish
mining over a long period of time. But the thing that's absolutely unique about Bitcoin is the fact that countries are now adapting it. El Salvador now has it as one of their base currencies with their normal base currency.
Yeah.
So every shop in El Salvador has to accept Bitcoin.
So if you're from El Salvador, let us know how much a kilo of pineapple is in
Bitcoin.
Hey,
I'm really curious.
Right.
I'll swap you for a light year.
Litecoin.
Light year.
More chance of swapping you a light year.
You might have a couple of them. Couple of light years, please.
To infinity. Yeah. Sorry.
But it's the safest. I believe it's the safest asset. I'm not saying it's the asset that's going to give you the biggest gains, but it is the safest asset. It's about as safe as owning gold. Difference between Bitcoin though and gold is it only takes a mountain to erupt in Africa somewhere, and there's 50 more tons of gold, which means that the price of gold will go down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between that and Bitcoin long term. Now, digital, and it's easier to move a Bitcoin on a memory stick per se, or like a Trezor or a Ledger, than it is to move 50 kilos of gold on an aeroplane.
Exactly.
That's Khaled. He's got safes full of them.
What puts people off is the volatility, So
Yes.
it is very up and down, and people do get scared. And there's other Netflix shows about people getting scammed and exchanges going bust and people going to jail.
Yep.
Bitcoin's fairly stable. I think from what I know, but the volatility is what can put people off. Sorry, he's woken up again.
What happens when the 21 million coins are already
Mined?
mined?
Yeah,
The value
When
goes up.
the value goes up.
because the
And-
scarcity drives up the value. That's Rad's point.
Yeah. So because If everyone is
But
using
then you'll
it,
just trade Bitcoin between those who
No.
have them, because the price
well, no,
goes up, don't
everybody
it?
can't afford it because it's physically impossible for everyone on this planet to have a
So
Bitcoin.
money will never go out of fashion.
The
Bitcoin is just
value. The value will never go out of fashion because the simple reason it's like, how many Rolexes are there? Like, you find the number one model of Rolex as an example, right? How many is there? Danny? How many is there? Like the number
Well,
one model.
if you get a Paul Newman Daytona,
Right,
that
how many is there?
there was one,
Right.
and the original cost, I think, was, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and sponsor me, was $200, and it went for $6.4 million because
There's
Just
one.
one of one.
there's one.
Right.
So if there was 5, they'd
Yeah.
still be in the millions,
Yeah.
but their release price was a couple $100.
Yeah. So right now, it is physically impossible for everyone on the planet to own a Bitcoin. It's physically impossible because there's only 21 million that's ever going to be mined, and they're at 19.4 million.
I mean,
Bitcoin
that's the
mined.
same.
I mean,
That's the same
so
Colin, as
scarcity.
if you look at a Ferrari, you look at
Yeah.
anything. They're collectibles.
Yes.
And the less there are, the older they
Value.
are,
Yes.
the rarer they are.
Yes.
Right.
It's the same.
So it's the
pattern, isn't it?
principle of scarcity.
Well, that,
It's-
but also the fact that countries will be adopting.
Yes.
Countries
As you mentioned,
are
El
adopting them
Salvador,
now.
yeah.
El Salvador.
Dubai's obviously
Dubai.
the Emirates will clearly be one.
Yeah,
very
they're
soon.
they're probably in the next top 5.
And the
today.
fact that everyone's moving into a digital culture. Cryptocurrencies are going to be a thing whether people accept it or not, which is why the education and doing your own research is so key.
I mean, it's not the exact science, but you can't buy a physical paper gift card anymore. You have to buy a MasterCard, and we know why they do it, because nobody spends all the value. You get to keep it. You
No,
cheeky
now they give
fuckers.
you Visa, so you
Yeah,
can't
no,
get in the
no,
lounge
but
in
it-
fucking
well,
Terminal 1.
well, exactly, and that right.
Dragon
So the
Pass, yeah.
digitization's clear. That's been the trend for a long time.
Yep.
And I mean, cryptocurrency is definitely. I mean, I was skeptical at the start, and for some of the coins that come out of nowhere, I still am. But there are well-established ones, and you're well to take advice. Hence, Rad and Kyle being here.
Yep.
And getting started's fairly easy. You can do it in Revolut. If you want to be more advanced, there is evolutions. You can't take your value out of Revolut, but you can take the cash out and reinvest it.
No,
That's
you
possible.
can. You can take the asset now out of Revolut, so you can physically move. Some
I stand
XRP.
corrected.
You can move XRP now from Revolut to a cold
And
or hot wallet.
another exchange.
Yeah,
or
so
offline.
it's continuously growing, and Revolut just
That's
makes
good
it
to know,
simple.
yeah.
Yes,
Revolut
and
makes it
that was my
simple,
point.
right?
And that was my
And
point. Yeah.
simplicity is something that's really, really important, and there are exchanges so Revolut makes it really simple.
Yeah.
Coinbase really simple. Crypto.com really simple. Binance really simple. And then obviously the more advanced you get, the more complicated
was
there are
shit at
exchanges.
And our Binance, I looked at it, just shit
did my
everywhere.
head in.
I was like, I don't know where to click.
It did
Yeah.
my head in.
No, it is.
Crypto.com was a little bit easier. Revolut just easy.
Well,
and
that's
I
why
can
Coinbase
check.
did so well, because it was very, very simple. It's
Yeah.
buy, sell,
Yeah.
simple chart.
Right.
Crypto.com doesn't have that many more assets than all the other exchanges, but for me, simplicity is what makes
Sure.
it easier for you to understand it. Which is why, for example, the definition of the DeFi Times being released is to make everybody be able to understand it, because the more people that understand how simple cryptocurrency can be
Yeah.
to believe in it, understand, look
Yeah.
into the right project, the easier it's going to become, because this crypto isn't a thing that some people are going to need to know. Everybody's going to need to understand how cryptocurrency works. It's the same as when the mobile phone first came out. They said, what a waste of technology this is going to be. No one's going to use, no
I
one's going
dropped
to
mine
need
down
it.
the toilet. But yes,
Well, there you go. And now everyone has a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Most people have multiple
More than
mobile
more
phones.
than one. Yeah.
Right? But 15, 20 years ago, we were like, do we really need one? You can't live without
Yeah,
it.
we were used to going putting 10p in a box.
What do you
See
go?
you Friday,
Yeah,
which was a month ago,
No,
and you turn up.
Oh, yeah,
You'd be there.
you'd phone the local phone box where you'd hang out and then see if anyone was there and nip down. Yeah.
But that's just it. But so the cryptocurrencies now, the people that are getting into cryptocurrency and people that have been in cryptocurrency for a long period of time, they're the ones that are going to benefit in the very, very short term with everything that's about to occur. And the people that don't are going to struggle because they're going to then...
I'll tell you why. One of the very big misconceptions, even we mentioned it before when we were with Khaled, everyone seems to be hung up on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crypto. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is 65 grand a token.
67.
So people just go, Bitcoin, it's so expensive, I don't like crypto. Well, you don't know about it.
And you don't
And
have to buy
you
one, you
opened
can
my
buy
eyes,
fractions.
and I started learning.
You can
at
buy
Revolut
£10
really
worth of crypto
buy-
if you want to get into it.
Yes.
And experiment with that.
0.8 billion dots behind it. But,
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. But if adoption's not expensive, just be aware. The usual security protocols, don't give your shit to anyone. Anyone calls you and says, I'm Billy Bitcoin. He's probably not.
We'll get Dave Stennett on to do his 2 MFA. Martial arts factor or something.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, if you give out your numbers, you get strangled. And
So then it's because it is mega interesting. So those that the audience, it's read your digital mag.
yeah.
Do your research first. The question was,
Yeah, yeah.
how do you look at a strategy to invest? Me personally, You mentioned Revolut.
Yeah.
I started Revolut. Now
Yep.
I've got a portfolio of like 20. Some of them are
yeah,
some of them are pence. Some of them are really good.
And I did on
Every morning I'm like, fucking hell,
Just a
Rad,
bit-
this better go up.
Yeah.
My wife's
Otherwise
on doing some
Otherwise,
Cartier
I'm
shopping.
coming around there with a ball peen hammer, right? But on Rad's advice some years ago, I did pay off a certain person's overdraft. I just told my mother bollocks, and it wasn't mine, by the way. But I did, and
Well,
it
someone
was
else's mother.
controversial.
Now then, like and subscribe. Whose mother did Kenny pay off? That's
For $100 of crypto.
And did you, and out there, just an observation. Have a quick look at our guest card. Don't you think it looks like Michael Bourdain, the famous chef?
Yeah, he does.
Bourdain.
Yeah.
If you don't know Bourdain,
Well, he's not
Anthony
here
Bourdain.
anymore.
that's the one, Anthony. Not
You
mine.
said Michael.
It's his brother. You know, there's plenty of Michael.
Your
Douglas
long
out
lost chicken cooking brother.
there. Hey, that's a compliment for you.
Thank you.
And I was just going to add to Danny your point. Short-term gains, yes, are possible, but that's not what you guys would advocate. It's more put some money in, wait and see, track. Don't lose. Don't lose it when you see it go down the shitter because it invariably comes back up. It can be a little bit turbulent on the way up to its maximum value. Look at the
It's a
value.
risk same as anything,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
Of course.
There's always volatility.
There's always capital at risk, I think.
Carl, you have
appropriate.
something to say there. Go
Yeah,
on.
you just there's a couple things you would not invest or put in what you cannot
Can't afford to lose. Universal
That's
rule.
a key. That's a key thing.
That's a
right?
that,
So
that
that's
is
a
very.
good, small,
Now then,
baby
I
steps.
don't like that phrase because if you look at my portfolio, I can afford to lose. I can't afford to lose that. No, I can.
That's
But it's a
I
good
mean, that's
point.
the
It's a
number
good
one
point
rule.
to make out
That's
there.
right, yeah.
And I think that's why the likes of Revolut, you can put $400-$500 in here over a couple, and if it does tank,
Yes.
set your expectations that you lose.
Right,
I mean, it's risks.
and we used to say, and some of you got, I think, Carl, you said during 2021, which was the middle of the COVID shit show, when none of us were going, none of us were. Not
was
that
it, Kenny?
I loved it. I loved that period of my life when nobody was going out, and you had, and we used to say amongst ourselves, you're going to go out and spend $50, £100, or £3,000, depending where you were in the world. Stick that in crypto because you're going to drink or eat it anyway. Not suggesting you don't eat, but if you're not drinking, then and that's the way I got into it.
Because if you lose it, you won't be eating.
Yeah, but if you put it in, no hangover, and it might actually make money. And I did make some money.
And it's interesting. You're following, so you're paying interest. Because how many people look at the bank account every day and go, interest rate 0.1%?
Yeah, wait, it's
But
shit.
with your crypto, you
No,
actually
no,
look forward to it. It's stressful at times.
I now have the practice in the morning when I wake up. Look at 3 apps, bank balance, make sure I'm not.
Never look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
I do that. I'm stupid. But then I look at the one called Trading 212, which I have a couple of traditional stocks in. Then I look at another app, giving away all our apps here. What's going on? Now, of course, crypto goes 24/7, so you can when you make money when you're sleeping, which is the dream.
Well, the beauty is you see a drop during the day, and then the American markets are coming in. So just when you're going to bed, you're like, oh, it's crap. Then you wake up and the Japanese are having a go. And like, basically, you sit there all night like that. Yeah, cheers, them.
And ka-ching!
But when it goes down, I get a message from Danny. I looked.
And I see him typing, then deleting, typing, and deleting.
That's all I get from Danny. I looked. I shouldn't have. I looked.
And just before, literally, we always say just before the lights go off because we're on a time crack here, boys. But maybe just Kyle, maybe a good point about crypto for the future and what people should bear in mind. And maybe Rad, maybe
yeah, sure.
or maybe you have a good point from you both.
Yeah, this is a good thing. So you definitely want to look at the socials of a lot of the projects that you're going to look at, see where they're going, see what their utilities are.
Yeah.
There are ways, there are tools to find and track. A lot of the guys will reuse contracts, rinse, repeat, rename, and then just do all.
So a bit of diligence. So when you find a project or coin, Google it, find the socials, do a bit of recce,
and have a network of solid, trustworthy.
Before you not so much any money. I mean, sometimes it's worth taking the risk to educate yourself.
Yeah.
You'd rather lose $10 than $100 or $1,000, right? So lose the 10 experimenting.
And Rad, both of you, your digital magazine is available on
App
both
Store, or how's that work?
platforms.
Yeah.
Apple and Android.
And the name again?
DeFi Times.
DeFi
DeFi
times. We'll get a link.
We'll put a graphic, a thumbnail of how it looks. Download it if you are interested in crypto. I follow it, not just because the mates. It's a mega read, and I end up having questions for the guys myself.
Yeah, it's free. It doesn't cost anything.
It's
There's
free
only
education.
if you follow us. There's no sign up.
Ignore that. You got
$299. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. It's
we
another
appreciate
tool
that.
And Rad, any final words yourself? I mean, you're passionate about this.
I do.
There's your audience.
Yeah. For me, I just think that if you believe in a project, like Kyle was saying, go to the socials. I think Twitter is fantastic, or X as it's known now.
Dirt.
There's always somebody talking about a crypto project. Go into Spaces, listen to Spaces, or join their Telegram. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Or do what Danny does. Ask me.
Yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
be careful what you wish for there, Batman.
So I mean, we're getting close. So again, thanks to Xtelligence.com. If you're interested in anything that we've been talking about, you've got some questions, put them in the box down below. Like and subscribe, share it with your friends. The more of you we get out there, the longer we can be on air with you.
Yes.
You can win some merch. You can see one on Kyle's head.
Yeah.
The magazine will be put down below. Positions, go to Xtelligence.com.
Exactly.
At the moment, there are Sentinel Architects. You'll know what Sentinel Architect is if you're
you know what
interested in
Sentinel
that job. Yeah, it's not playing chess.
Exactly.
Or for any other interesting positions. If you want to recommend someone, get on there. Kenny, close us up.
We shall. So from Danny and I, Kyle, a pleasure. Like, sit down, you big You can tell he's a gentleman.
Cheers, Rad. Thanks for coming, brother.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You're not a gentleman.
See you
Fuck you. Right. Well, a pleasure of welcoming you. Welcome. You know what I mean. Thanks very much for joining. We'll see you next time.
Good night from him.
See you guys.
Good night.